Hey, welcome to the Promotional Products Show. I am co-host John Clark, along with my other co-host, Dan Toombs from CompuGift. My company is Palm Tree Promotions. I'm located in Orlando, Florida. And Dan with CompuGift is over in the UK, so we're kind of two guys in an ocean. Talking about promotional products, talking about how they can be effective for your business. They could be low cost, and today our topic is stress relievers and everything that you could ever imagine to know about stress relievers. Now, Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, John. Always nice to see you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. As mentioned previously, today we are going to talk about stress relievers. And those are those like squishy toy things that can be made in all kinds of different shapes. Dan's going to go into a little bit more in detail. He specializes in the stress relievers. I use them for clients all over the place. Dan is more of a custom guy, and so we're going to let Dan talk about all the different kind of shapes and sizes that can be done and how that can be customized and different kind of imprint stuff. So, Dan, I'm going to let you take it away.
Great, John. Yeah, well, it's all about stress balls today. So thought I'd start just by letting people know a little bit about what is possible with them. Because believe it or not, even though things have progressed so much over the years, it's the round ball that's still the most popular. It's the round ball, also the soccer ball, a couple of other footballs, but it's the round 70-millimeter diameter shape that seems to be the one that most people ask for still. And believe it or not, people don't realize you can get a lot of different shapes. It's just something that maybe they're asked for by their boss to get, or they just don't realize what is out there. And so I'm hoping that through today's show, and I know you have one that you use to send out to your clients, John. Yeah. I just want to show what the possibilities are and expand on that, let people know what they can do and what they can't do, and really just go on from there. Spend the next 20 minutes letting them know everything they really need to know about the product.
All right, and I probably have a couple of questions along the way, so just go on, continue on.
All right. So, yeah, like I say, the most popular stress ball is the round ball, but more and more people are starting to ask us, hey, can you do one in the shape of our mascot, or can you do one in the shape of our product? And the answer is usually yes. The only time that we would say no is if the product you're selling is something really thin, maybe like a light pole or something like that. It wouldn't make a very good stress ball, and on top of that, it would fall. It'd start to crack after a while because it just isn't stable. You want something quite round. I mean, most of you will recognize this little guy here, and this is one we did about a year back. And this is perfect because it's squishy and it's big and it fits into the average adult size hand. It's the perfect shape for a stress ball.
I have a quick question, Dan.
Yeah.
Did they really relieve stress, or is that just a convenient name?
Yeah, something to be honest with you, I think it's a convenient name. I have a lot of these things around the office, and they don't relieve my stress, I'll tell you. But they are quite good to throw at someone if you need to. I guess every now and then.
There you go.
when my son really winds me up, yeah.
And it won't hurt either because they're just like soft and squishy.
No, they don't hurt. You can take a grenade and just throw it at someone, and it's it does the job. Yeah, it relieves a little bit of stress, I guess, at most.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, back to that light pole picture I was giving you. You don't want something thin. This is another stress ball that we did for a customer, and they wanted to have a dragon with a really long tail, and we said no long tail. I mean, yes, it could have been done. We could have done that, but that long tail would have fallen off after a while. So you want to try and stick to a few rules, and you can pretty much have anything you like.
Well, if that tail falls off, it would be kind of like in real life when you grab a lizard tail, it tends to fall off so they can get away.
Yeah, tell that to the customer though, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
But we've had a few customers that have come to us. We had one that insisted on a smaller stress ball. So what I was just saying not to get, we actually made this a little bit pudgier than they wanted. But we had this really nice cat stress ball that we did for them originally, and this was just a standard shape. And they wanted it to look more like their mascot, which is this little guy right here. So as you can see, it's not going to be as squishy, but it was perfect for them. That's exactly what they wanted, and it sat on people's desk, and people see it, and they see their logo right up close, and it just worked really well for them. So it did the job that they wanted to do.
Excellent. Question. Yeah. On a custom piece, what kind of time frame are people looking at? So if they have an event in the future, to have enough time to get something that they actually want instead of choosing, let's say, a stock item that may not fit their needs as well as a custom, how long does it usually take?
All right. Well, a stock item they can have in about a week, 2 weeks. We can do those very quickly for them, and I think that's generally the case with any supplier. Any promotional gift supplier is going to be able to do something quite quickly. If you want to have us make them for you from the factory, made to order from the factory, we did this little guy right here, this little dinosaur, and the customer didn't really know what they wanted, but they did know they wanted a dinosaur, and so they went looking for cartoon pictures in magazines and sent us a picture of a cartoon dinosaur that they wanted, so just a flat page. And we came up with this and started, from designing it out of clay and sending the picture to them with the clay, the clay mold, and then getting an actual product for them, which we sent them a picture of that, and then the actual product, it took 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Well, that's not too bad, because a lot of times in our promotional product world, a custom piece can sometimes take 60 to 90 to 120 days.
Yeah, I know.
Or even longer, depending on the complexity. So even 4 weeks on a custom piece, very reasonable time frame.
It's good. I mean, the company that we've been dealing with, and there are some good companies out there. There's also some pretty bad companies out in China. This is where they're all made, actually. But the company we've been dealing with, we've been dealing with them for 15 years, and we know how to work with them. So we send them a picture and try to maybe even design it a little bit here. So take a two-dimensional picture and give it some three-dimensional aspects and send it over to them. And they're usually able to come back to us within a few days. So it is a quick process. It's not something that's going to take forever. If you give yourself 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you're really safe. You're not going to have any problem.
And then another question on, when you're dealing with stock items, you can usually purchase at a minimum pieces, probably about 100 or more. And the more you order, the better the price you get. This scale of economies. But on a custom piece, are there specific minimums that you really need to adhere to?
It varies from your supplier, I guess. But from what I've seen, it's usually about 1,000 units. So you need to be looking for quite a few. Okay. Just as a guesstimate price, I'm talking pounds here, but I could probably convert that for you in dollars. You're looking at roughly, and this is with tooling everything, about one, and this is it depends on the shape, obviously, but you're looking at about £1.25. So I guess that would be about $1.75, $1.80 or so.
Yeah, less than $2 a piece.
Yeah.
So
and that's with tooling, the design, everything. Yeah.
For a custom branded piece, very inexpensive advertising, marketing expenditure, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's great because, I mean, the company that ordered these, they're going to go to their trade shows and they're going to be handing these out, and they know no one else is going to have them. They might have a round stress ball like everyone else does, but they're not going to have that, which is completely different, and that which is going to sit on people's desk, and it's that people are going to be looking at, which is what they want, their logo, on a day-to-day basis.
And that's why we call top-of-mind awareness.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of promotional items, is that the more unique they are, the more useful they are. Mm-hmm. They're going to stick around longer, and your logo is going to be, branded in people's brains more often. And then when it comes time for they needing a product or service that you have to offer, who are they going to think of first? Most likely you.
Yeah, they're gonna think of the company. I mean, obviously you have to have the service and the product there, and you have to be doing your side as well. But if you've got something in front of somebody that it stands out and people like to look at and people like to keep, and for whatever reason, whatever it may be, it's going to do the job. It's going to be it's going to be the piece that people pick up first and say, oh yeah, I need to give them a call.
Right.
And it could be stress balls, it could be a pen, it could be anything. If it's different to what other people are handing out, and especially if it's useful, you're in there.
Well, and plus the fact that there's been global studies that have been done over the last 3 and 4 years in our industry that verify that 62% of all the people that you give a gift to or a promotional product to, they end up doing business with you. So I mean, over 6 out of 10 people end up doing business by just you handing a cool little gift to them that comes back in business to you. That's really kind of a neat. That's why we're in the business. It's fun. It's innovative.
Yeah, I've seen the same study, and the information's there. The tests have been done. And there have been numerous surveys and all that have been done over the years, and they all tend to say the same thing: that if you hand someone a gift or you send it to them in the post, you send out a letter with a product in the post, it's going to get noticed, and that person is more likely to deal with you, and that's just the way it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. And speaking of that, I just wanted to share one of the items that I use personally, and because Dan, you as well as I do, we believe in the products that we serve and sell, and we use them ourselves to prospect for business, to give gifts to existing clients at different times of the year, around the holidays especially. But one item that I use to prospect, even for cold business, is, and my company, Palm Tree Promotions, is affiliated with Proforma. It's a big company here in the United States and around the world in our industry. And we have some really cool marketing pieces. One of them is, this is a custom printed box. So you get the packaging along with this, but inside this box, when I send it, it comes with a label and everything else. And I send it by the mail to a prospect I want to do business with. And so when they open, number one, when you send something like this as opposed to just a flat letter that most likely is never going to even get opened, this is almost a 100% guarantee, because they want to find out what the heck is inside this. That's just human nature, right? So this one is custom packaged, and it has, we have our own custom tissue and a little card that is inside it where you can put a private message on the back asking for an appointment. And then inside it has our mascot for Proforma, who is Proforma Pete. And then the Proforma logo on the back. And so, and then the custom card that comes with it is, hey, this is Pete. Pete is stress-free. Pete works with Proforma. So we can, again, in turn, that's the little card that comes in it. So this is a whole little direct mail prospecting package that I use to gain appointments for myself personally with companies that I want to do business with. And again, it's just a little squishy toy, and somebody gets this, they go, man, that is really cool, I've never seen that before, and then they sit it right on their desk, and it just sits there, and Proforma Pete is staring at them. And when they have a need of any type of promotional item or any type of marketing support or any of the different things that we can help companies with Proforma, who are they going to call? Hopefully they're going to call me first before they call anybody else. And if I'm doing my job right, which most of the time I do, that I'm going to get additional business. And so that's really the power of imprinted promotional items.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. That's exactly that stress ball you've got there. That's what I was saying earlier. That's the perfect shape as well. It's round. It's not exactly a ball, it's round. A
little pudgy guy. Kind of looks like me. Has a bit more hair than I do. And I can't remember the last time I actually put a tie on, but other than that, hey, that's I always usually have a phone up to my head too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of reminds people of me.
Great.
So do you have any other pieces that you want to share?
I just want to show one last thing, and that's just because a lot of people may not realize this either. God, the market's changed a lot in the last 10 years. I can remember 10 years ago, and if you wanted to have something printed in full color, you were lucky if you could find maybe a mouse mat. And maybe there might have been a mug on the market or something like that, and that's completely changed. With all digital printing, everything that's available now, there are so many products that can be printed in full color. Yeah. And that includes stress balls. So we can do something like this. Here's our little cloud, which is very popular these days. It's cloud software and all that.
Right.
So that's just printed in one or two colors there, in spot color. But if somebody wants to have their logo printed in full color, you're going to get that on this is a sponge. This is like a piece of foam, which is really good. And if you see this, you can squeeze that forever, and the logo just stays on. It's really good quality print, and it doesn't peel off. It's full color, and it just looks the business.
Yeah, it's not edible. It's actually printed directly on the piece.
It's applied. It's applied by hand. It's a very well. It's a very posh decal, I guess you'd call it. It's a transfer print, that is, and. Yeah, you couldn't peel this off if you wanted to. It's better than a pad printing. Because pad printing, if you're to do that too much to it, it's going to start peeling off. Whereas this will just stay on forever. It's a really good way of printing. Here's almost every country has a white van man. Somebody that goes around. A lot of companies have white vans, or of course we could do this in different colors if you like any color you choose. But I just thought I'd show that how this kind of goes out, and that's a full color print there, and
yeah,
just make the product look better.
Yeah, exactly. And toys that these are, I guess, categorically in the toy spectrum. They're just fun, and they're innovative, and they're different than your typical pen or a pad of paper, which they're effective as well, but these just stick around, and your logo is always going to be on somebody's desk. And if you're trying to attract that type of a person, it's a perfect item for your company to go onto a custom stress ball or even a stock stress ball and be prominently displayed in one of the areas that the working people are is at their desk. Yeah, and what better place to have something like this than at your desk?
Like we were talking about these surveys earlier. The most what we've found in the surveys that have been done is that useful products are the products that are used the most and are kept the longest. Useful is a pretty broad word. I mean, yes, you use a pen, you need a tablet of paper. You also like to have something like that on your desk just for the odd time that you want to just pick it up. And you were asking about stress earlier. No, I don't think it really de-stresses you all that much, but who knows? I think it might just do every now and then, so why not give it a try?
Yeah, a couple of squeezes, and hey, not only might it relieve some stress, but it can strengthen your grip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it beats going to the gym, doesn't it?
Actually, well, yeah. I have not been inside a gym for quite some time. But
my son
about that. Yeah. So Dan, how can people get a hold of you to check out all the different types of things that you have available?
Well, right here we'll be doing the show, as you know, John, every week. But it's CompuGift.co.uk. Give me a call. Wherever you are in the world, I can help you out. Even if I'm not in your area, I'll be more than happy to give you advice, things to look for. Just anything really. This is my life. This is what I like doing. So if you have a question about promotional products, I'm sure John, you'll say the same thing.
We've both been in this business a long time. I've been in it over 20 years, and I can't remember how many, but it's probably close to that as well.
It's about the same, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we got a couple of grizzly vets here that have done and seen pretty much anything that could be done and seen in this industry, and we're here to help you guys build your brand. That most people probably, I mean, they know about promotional items, but they may not really understand how effective and how powerful they really are. And so that's why we wanted to do this show on a weekly basis to start talking about that and hopefully gain an audience and be able to maybe change somebody's perspective on what these little trinkets or toys or tchotchkes or whatever people or swag want to call them, how they're effective and why people do use them and for what purposes. So they serve a ton of different purposes, and throughout the next shows, on and on and on, we're going to dive into those things and kind of talk about them.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, well, Dan, thank you so much for sharing your experience and expertise with the stress relievers. And we have new shows that are going to be coming up every Wednesday, and so just be on the lookout for the invitation and the topic of what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I look forward to talking to you and seeing you in future shows.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.